Good morning and welcome to the channel, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. Yeah, I know I'm not on the bike, and it's basically a motorcycle channel, but something a little bit different this morning. I am, as some of you may know, I volunteer at the National Motorcycle Museum, and it's not a Thursday, it's a Friday. It's Friday the 14th of November, and tomorrow the Motorcycle Live show starts at the NEC near the museum, and we are displaying the museum is displaying there, got a stand there. So this morning there's about I think there's supposed to be 14 of us or so volunteers, getting the bikes off display. I think there's 16 bikes off display, and getting them into the vans. We've got two vans, I think. We've probably got the museum's own van, and we hire a van with a tail lift, which is handy. So we've got 16 display machines to move to the NEC, and we've got two machines that Wes and Chris are going to be working on while they're at the show, plus all their tools, benches, lifts and stuff to go. So it's going to be quite a full-on morning. And just to add to that, I don't know if you can see out here, but it's absolutely torrential. And the forecast, I'll show the forecast from this morning up above here. The forecast is not great. In fact, it's atrocious for the whole day. So we'll have to see how we get on there. Luckily, some of the stuff can be done indoors, obviously getting the stuff into reception and stuff, but then we're going to be outside loading the van. Fortunately, the museum is only just over a mile from the NEC, so it shouldn't take long. In fact, it shouldn't take long to get there. I say that, but with the way the roads are around there, you're probably quicker to walk it than go in the van, but obviously that's not an option. Anyway, we'll see how we get on, and I'll keep you, if I can do some filming I will, and keep you updated, and hopefully we'll have some decent footage to put on. Right, it looks like we've got three vans, two hire vans there and the museum van on the right. Let's get in out the rain. Right, oh, it looks like there's a few volunteers already here, and the bikes have been put in reception. Oh, that's a bonus. Right, let's get them on these vans. Right, this is the method. Up onto the tail lift, bit of manoeuvring, and usually about a 3-4 point manoeuvre, and then slide them in. It looks as though this year we're taking nearly all military machines, apart from I think the Vincent, which is the raffle bike, which is obviously going on display to sell raffle tickets at the show. The rest of them are virtually all military. Here's another one. Big John's decided to ride this one in, I think. So we normally try and get 6 bikes in each van. We do that by getting 2 down the left behind each other, one in front of the other, whatever. 2 on the right, then they're strapped in, ratchet strapped in, and then we put two down the middle and they're ratchet strapped in, and they're all safe. So we get 6 in each van, and then off they'll go. Some of us will stay at the museum and get the next batch ready. We've got to get some sidecars in this year. Now these sidecars, last year we took a sidecar, but it was an AGS Trials bike, so it wasn't a heavy machine, and we, with a lot of brute force and ignorance, we managed to get it in. But this year we're taking, I mentioned the military theme, we're taking 2 military sidecars, which we'll come to in a minute. And they're a different prospect. They are heavy. There we have the two down there, two down the other side. That'll be ratchet strapped in now, and then we'll wang two down the middle. Right, now we come to these sidecars. We decided the best way was to take them off display, and rather than go through one of the halls and into the coffee shop where we wouldn't manoeuvre them, they're too big, we're going to go out onto the lawn, across the lawn into one of the other halls, or the back end of one of the other halls, and then out onto the car park. But we had a bit of judicious use of two ramps here, a big wide one and then a narrower one for the sidecar wheel. A bit of precision positioning by Jenny there. And here we go. Is he going to come down? Yes, never any doubt. This one's got a great big machine gun on the front and the tripod. Never any doubt. So now we get him in the other end. The grass was soaking wet, so we're just waiting for Steve to open the door. Oh, there he is, open the doors for us, and we'll then bounce it up. There's only a small step there. We'll bounce it up that little step, just down the corridor and out onto the car park. 1, 2, 3, bump. There we go, and in we go. Now we come to the sidecars. As I said, these are heavy beasties. Yes, military, so they're obviously heavy, and they've got machine guns on. They got, looks like armour plating on the front. So it was a cunning plan had to be hatched. So it was two tail lifts. There we have the one on the left, the van on the left. We've got the back wheel and the sidecar wheel on that one. Oh, it's gone a bit far forward, and the plan is to put the front wheel on the right hand tail lift. But I think we need to move them a little bit closer together. Yeah, that's it, a little bit closer together, so there's not too much of a gap between them. There we go, nearly there. And then we're going to have a coordinated lift on both tail lifts. Got to be very careful, obviously. So there we go, taking on both the tail lifts up. But I think at some point we decided that there was too much of a gap to roll it back into the left-hand van. So yeah, I think it was too far forward on the right hand, so that's better. But yeah, that gap was a bit too big, I think, and it was also a bit too, I think it caught the floorboards on the van, so we had to think again on that one. There we go, try again, that's better. So they're almost up at the height where it can roll back, but yeah, the gap's too big. It's too much of a risk that the front wheel's going to drop through that gap. So up with the right hand lift, so it comes back and then overlaps the left hand one. And the plan worked. In it goes. Fix tricks. So we come to the now what happened was the right hand tail lift stopped working on the van on the right hand side, so cunning plan A couldn't be used for the second sidecar, so we pushed it across the car park to enable cunning plan B. So we reversed. This is what's called a grassy knoll. This is towards the entrance of the museum. So Bob reversed the van up to this grassy knoll, or a bit of a grassy bank. We got the sidecar ready, so we used the natural contours, shall we say, to aid the loading of this second military sidecar, which again was very heavy. So we're getting the tail lift at the right height there. We're now going to bounce it over the curb, down the grassy bank and into the back of the van. Fix tricks number 2. There we go. You can see how heavy it is. I think there's about 5 or 6 of us shoving that there. There's yours truly right at the back in the middle. Right, we're on. Just lift that up a little bit now. Line it up with the front. Bounce the back wheel up. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we go. In it goes. So, cunning plan B worked. Don't know how they got them off the other end. Because they didn't have a grassy bank as far as I know. But they must have done, because Bob came back with the van a little bit later for the last 2 machines. So that was a pretty full-on morning, and the weather still pouring down, absolutely pouring down. But anyway, all the machines have gone over to the NEC now, including those 2 sidecars. I didn't film the very end because we had an issue with one of the vans. The tail lift broke in the up position, so we had a bit of an issue with that, and we're having to wait for one of the other vans to come back. We've just loaded the final 2 bikes on. The raffle bike, the Vincent raffle bike, and Armstrong Army machine. So we're done. There's still a lot of guys over at the NEC, so one of the vans is going back now. 2 of the vans are going back now, and they'll bring them back. So we'll all be done. If it hadn't been for the broken tail lift, I think we'd have been done an hour or so ago. But anyway, that's the end of this little video. If I can remind you to like and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. It's completely free of charge, and it certainly helps to develop the channel. Lets me see what people are watching and what they're not watching, make the content to suit. So that's all we got for now. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.